Hi everyone. I thought I'd make a quick video sitting out here on our beautiful lanai with the garden in the background to just see if I could clear up a little, some misconceptions maybe, and provide some more information about our COVID response plan. I've had the joy of talking with a number of you, and thank you very much for your strong support. But I wanted to also make sure that you were hearing from me about some of the questions maybe that you might have. So first and foremost, we're licensed by the Hawaii Council of Private Schools, of which I'm a board member. We look at all states, schools in the state, and provide their license, but that doesn't give the Hawaii Council of Private Schools the mandate to be able to dictate what schools do. We just provide the license. The Department of Health and the Department of Education collaborated on guidelines that they are setting, and they are the Department of Education schools are mandated to use those. We based ours on their guidelines, but we also know that we can do what we feel is best for our students, our families, our faculty and staff in our school setting. And because we're so small, and we have that great close-knit community, we feel that it is possible for us to find that balance between student and faculty and staff safety and providing what we know kids need to learn and grow. So let's just address a couple of the questions that came up while I was on the phone chatting with folks. First of all, let's talk about masks. So there's some misconception there about why kids need to wear masks or people to wear masks. So to be very clear, of course we wear masks to protect people around us if we are feeling any symptoms or anything. It doesn't actually protect us. And of course we feel that's important. We don't want to be spreading germs, but we also know that there's no way students can effectively learn in a classroom if the teacher and students are all wearing masks. So we are not going to be wearing masks inside. Our face is such a great tool as a teacher to be able to communicate with kids. And, if we're saying, what sound does a bee make? Buh. And we're doing it like this with a mask on our face, how are we actually teaching the kids how to go bah, right? So you get it. As far as the inside-outside bit of masks, so the Department of Education is very clear because they're trying to keep their students in these cohorts, and they're thinking as they leave the classroom, they'll have to put a mask on. So that's why the outside part is on there. We are not sure yet exactly what's going to happen with our recess. Our kids are absolutely going to have recess, whether they're doing it by class or they're going to be out there. But if they are out and mixing up, it's very likely we can say, okay, to be safe, it's better to have a mask. Because as I'm yelling and I'm spewing my germs as I'm playing my games, it might be better to keep my germs to myself. But we're going to take a close look at it and do what the right thing is. Students will be doing PE for sure. I've talked to Coach Daniel already. He's got it well in hand, and he's making some plans to make sure that we can do it without masks and have the kids out there pushing themselves physically, running, playing, jumping, learning skills, and being safe with each other by doing those things at a social distance. We will be cleaning extensively. So what that means, and to clear up another misconception, we are not going to be, bombing the school with toxic chemicals every day. Hopefully you know me well enough to know that that is certainly not something that I would choose to put myself at risk for, certainly not your children either. So we have connected with D7, which is a company run by one of our families here, Matt Bloom, and they have very generously donated disinfectant to us. I shared with you some D7 information about its efficacy and safety, and I am fully confident that it is absolutely safe. It's essentially hydrogen peroxide. We're going to be using that to wipe down doors and doorknobs and tables and desks and chairs and all that stuff. It also has a capability for us to use in a fogger, that we can actually fog the classrooms at the end of the day after everyone's out, and as it sits overnight, it will be disinfected and brand new clean for us in the morning. So that's about the disinfectant. So if you have any questions at all about that, I would urge you to get in touch with me and let me answer your questions, or send you to them. Visitors and parent volunteers, we have had some questions about that. You know, the last thing we want to do at a family-based school, where we really view families as our partners, is say, oh, I'm sorry, you're not welcome here anymore. That said, we also need to make sure people are being safe. So we are going to ask all volunteers and visitors to the school to come to the office and check in. We'll make sure that they're well and they can interact in a safe way with our ohana here. And speaking of illness, so we're asking everyone really to do their part to not only to monitor your own personal health, but that of your child, taking their temperature in the morning before you bring them into school, going through the checklist of possible symptoms. And if there's any doubt at all, keeping them home, because, you know, we've all been in the situation, and I have too, where your child is a little bit sick and you're kind of thinking, well, I really should probably not send them to school, but I have this work I have to get done, so I need them to go to school today. And, you know, that may happen in the past, but because of the consequences of what could possibly happen if that turns out to be COVID-19, that would impact not just your child and your family, but all the families in our school, to the point where we have to, you know, close for 14 days to make sure everybody's quarantined, and we're figuring out if the virus is actually impacting our school community, and then cleaning. So we really are asking for your kukua and helping us work together in this close-knit community to make sure that we can all stay safe. So there's lots more I could talk about. I'm going to be sharing some information soon with you about some just some suggestions of some protocols that you can do to minimize your exposure when you're traveling or when your family members are traveling. So we can, again, all work together to make sure that we can keep as safe as possible. Now, all of this said, of course, we have been working hard on our plans, and we never know what's going to happen or how things may change, and everything is such in flux that I appreciate your flexibility and your willingness to say, as many of you have done in these past few days, you know, we trust you. We trust you to do the right thing. We trust you to make the best decisions possible. We trust you to stay up on the information and to communicate with us. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We are your Waimea Country School. So thank you. Enjoy these beautiful summer days. Get outside, get to the beach, and stay in touch. All right. I look forward to working with all of you and seeing all your keiki back here in school. I miss them. And one last big plug, take a look down this beautiful lanai. So we have this glorious outdoor space that I can't wait to use. All right. Aloha, my friends.